Good morning. It is day 43 on the Continental Divide Trail. I woke up to it very chilly. I said it was 31. It's actually dropped down to 28 now. So I think once the sun comes up, it'll start warming up. But everything was covered in frost this morning. So got another big day ahead. So let's hike. Yeah, I'm trying to pack away my tent. And this is the condensation from inside my tent. The outside was covered too in frost. It's 31 degrees this beautiful chilly morning. So I'm trying to finish getting at least most of this ice out of my tent so I can pack it and get going, get warmed up. Oh, what a beautiful morning. After yesterday's rain. Looks like today we have clear skies. And I know once the sun gets up, it'll start warming. But it's actually not bad after you get moving, especially climbing. It's actually kind of nice to be cool starting off because, boy, these big climbs, they really heat you up. Wow, this is so gorgeous. All right, get moving. This is so funny. I pulled out my little honey stinger waffle for breakfast and I took a bite and it's frozen solid. That is a first for me. One more view of this. Beautiful. Big climb ahead. Pretty. Very steep. Little waterfall dropping down over here. All right. Climb up to some sunshine. Very steep. These big climbs first thing in the morning are pretty tough because I'm pretty fast on the uphills once I'm warmed up, but it takes me about 30 minutes of hiking to get warm. My body working right. When I was racing Ironmans and triathlons and stuff, I was the same way. I needed a long warm up to actually perform well, so not surprising. So here's the pass I'm headed for. I climbed up from down in that gulch. I made it up. Just looking back. And what's ahead? Actually, it looks like I may have a little more of a rise, but it's close and it's not so steep now. Well, here's my view. Warm sunshine is hitting me. In a little while, I have a feeling I'll be taking off my melanzana fleece, but it feels nice and cozy right now. There's my shadow hiking. I don't see that too often. Wow, it's really beautiful. Let's check out this next view as I round this corner. Almost up. Beautiful. God is the master artist. Look at this beauty. Alright, hiking on. So I see my trail climbing up, and if you look, you see like a line of hikers going up. That is so funny to me. I have not seen that many people on the entire CDT trail. Kind of neat. But it makes it tricky to try to find a place to go to the bathroom because there's always people around and there's nowhere to hide up here. Such a cool landscape, and the frost covering everything looks really cool. About to start my climb. Finally nearing the top of this climb. It's been a booger. But so close. So beautiful. And here we are at the top. Good morning. So my trail is climbing up and over that way. Whew. Another big one. Day of big climbs. Gorgeous. Still got a ways to go. I think we're going, yep, way up there. Way up there. Oh wow. We have made it. Just about. That was a climb. Whew. Came from back over that mountain, came down, and then climbed back up. So I actually still have to climb up over this, but getting there. It's close. Oh, just look at all these gorgeous mountains. I'm about to come over this rise. Here's my trail ahead. Now I have this big climb up to the top of that one. So I'm gonna zoom in a little more. You can see my trail where I came down. And then here's looking out. Oh gosh. And here's my steep climb up. Wow. Almost up. I'm going to give you a 360 view from the top of this climb here. It's incredible. It's amazing. All right. I think that's the last major climb for a little bit. I'm almost down, and then I do have one more climb here before I believe I descend and kind of make my way to Stony Pass. Not too far away. So my trail is climbing up to the top of that, over there somewhere. Every time I think I've done the last climb, I got one more. I really think this is the last one though. Not the last climb for today, but the last climb for at least a while till I get to Stony Pass. Now I made it. So I'll drop down and then my trail goes back around this valley. And it's funny, I see a tent right down right there. That person's camped in the same spot me and Steve camped in 2020. So this is Maggie's Gulch, back this direction. And then I am headed towards Stony Pass. Nice view. Made it to Stony Pass. You can see there's a, where'd he go? Going out of view. There's a Jeep going up there. It's a pretty popular off-road route. And I'll walk on it for just a little bit before my trail cuts off again. And I think I will stop here somewhere when I find a nice spot and have my lunch and dry out my tent. This is the critter that is making that loud noise. They're so loud flying around here. Came across a young marmot, and Mama, I think, is looking right around the corner. Hi, you two. Y'all are so cute. I've never seen one, so you're so little. Don't worry, Mama, I'm not messing with him. There's the pass, Stony Pass. We're heading this way. Remember, I thought of this area as like the grassy hill section. All these rolling grassy mountains. Big peaks. Climbing up my grassy hill. There's big peaks out there. This is a really pretty area. Came across a little hidden lake, and I'm climbing way up there. Another lake, and I gotta make it up over this rise. And I think I get a little break from big climbs for a bit. I think these are the Grenadier Mountains. We'll probably get a better look in a little bit. Just beautiful. Yeah, those are the Grenadiers. The Colorado Trail passes real close to them. One day I'm gonna hike over to that basin and kind of explore around them. Still making my way. I'm getting close to where I will leave the Colorado Trail. Not too far from here, a few miles. Wow, it's really beautiful. Oh, this is really beautiful. Well, I've got to admit though, I am struggling pretty bad today. I think I got some altitude sickness. It doesn't happen to me very often, but I feel like the last time I did, I didn't sleep last night and then had a hard time eating anything. And with all this climbing, I'm just like crashing and I'm not able to drink a whole lot without getting really sick to my stomach. So I'm coming near a place I need to make a decision what I'm gonna do. I could stay on the Colorado Trail. It's well defined and it's gonna start going downhill. There would be one more climb up to Molas Pass, and then I could camp somewhere and have Steve pick me up tomorrow. Or I can stay where the junction is on the CDT, and I have a climb, which is gonna be really hard today. But after that, I could descend down and it actually crosses Vallecito Creek. And Vallecito Creek, if I follow that trail south, comes right out of the campground near my house. So I could hike home and I'd be home by tomorrow afternoon, and I'd probably start feeling better because it'll drop me to lower elevation pretty quickly. And there's no more big climbing on that trail. So that's kind of what I'm leaning to, because the third option would be just to stay on the CDT, but it just stays so high. And when I've gotten like this, my symptoms don't seem to go away. They like get worse. My big problem is not being able to eat or drink enough for the exertion. And like I'm already, when I lean over and stand up, I start blacking out. And that's not very good. So I think I'm leaning towards trying to do, so at least I can do that section that goes over Hunchback Pass. And when it connects with Vallecito Creek, I'll follow the creek down. It's not an easy trail. There were a lot of blowdowns the last time we went through, which I don't really have energy for either. But I like the idea that, you know, it ends at my house. So I may do that, but I'll let you know unless I really start feeling better. Between now and then, I've taken a few breaks and I'm kind of okay when we start going down, but as soon as I have to do any exertion, I'm not feeling good. But I'm sure enjoying the views. Doesn't take away from that a bit. I just don't know if I've got 2 to 3 more days of hiking feeling like this. Wow, what a beautiful view. So I made it to my junction. That's the CDT, and it climbs up over. This is the Colorado Trail that climbs up here and then drops down. And it's a shorter route than trying to hike out Vallecito Creek to my house. I deal with blowdowns and stuff and the river crossings. So I have messaged my husband and I'm going to hike the Colorado Trail to Molas Lake, and then he'll pick me up there tomorrow. I just got to get lower so I start feeling better. And I live so close to this, I can always come finish another time, but this was not it. Look at that big view. Almost to where I dropped down into that valley. So that's where I would have been headed. I had some big climbs left. Whew. And this is where I'm headed, down this drainage. We've got like a bazillion switchbacks to get down. So we're gonna go way down into that creek and keep dropping down, which will be good for the altitude sickness. really a beautiful trail too, so I don't really feel like I'm missing out, but one day I'll have to finish that last little gap. I think I just pushed too hard after being off trail for a while, and I went straight up to elevation and pushed big miles. And last time I got altitude sickness, it was like a similar situation. I just overdo things. Look at all these crazy switchbacks going down, 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 down. There's a cool little mining cave down next to the trail. This part gets really steep here in a minute. And then eventually I get down and it starts leveling out. We've been dropping like crazy. It doesn't really show up on the video, but that was like the steepest section of trail. And it keeps staying pretty steep till I get down around this corner. That's looking back from what we just dropped down. And I was dropping down next to that cliff wall there and then down. Still got a ways to drop. This creek is very beautiful. This descent has been very steep. It's just finally starting to flatten out because we've gotten down. And I'm back in trees. And I've dropped a lot of elevation. I don't feel a whole lot better yet, but I will. After time, I just gotta rest, hydrate. See if I can eat anything. There's the big mountain back behind me. This is a nice trail section. I am probably within a mile of the beaver pond, where I'm gonna try to find a tent site for the night. And then I'll get up whenever I wake up, probably very early because I haven't slept well, but now I'm lower, so maybe I will get a good night's sleep. And I've got to do a climb up to get out and to the Molas Lake campground where Steve's gonna meet me in the morning, so I'm pretty whooped. But what a beautiful day and trail. Well, I made it to a camp spot. It's a beautiful spot. I'll go out in a minute and show you. But I'm getting everything set up while I still have some energy. Long day. I did another like over 24 miles and over 4,000 feet of gain. But every single climb, they were rough today. And now I've dropped down considerably in elevation. I feel a little bit better. I still don't have an appetite. And I'm tired, very tired. I'm hoping tonight I'll sleep because last night I just didn't sleep at all. And that's part of the reason I feel so bad today. That and not being able to really eat. I've been able to get down some like little gummy bears. And I've made myself just now eat a protein bar because I haven't had anything else besides a couple of little candies, and not even many, and just not enough to support all the hiking that I did. So hopefully that will settle. Sorry. And I will check in with you guys in the morning. One last note on the altitude sickness. I rarely get it, but just the 2 times that I have was because I pushed too hard early on. Like the first day of this hike, I should have done a lot less miles and just rested. There wasn't a lot of good campsites, like at the point where I could have stopped and camped. It was like way early in the day, and I just hate to stop when it's like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But honestly, my body just needed a little more time to adjust to the elevation, and I've been off trail for several weeks. So jumping right into 24-mile days with 5,500 feet of climbing is not the brightest thing. So it's my fault. But the only way you can really improve is to get lower. And really I need to be lower than I even am now. I dropped a lot, like several thousand feet. But when I get back home at 8,000 feet, I'll feel a lot better. I've been up at 12 and 13,000 feet for the last 2 days. So tomorrow morning I gotta get up, make the little climb up. Not little, it's a big climb, but it's like a 4-mile climb up to Molas campground, Molas Lake. So I'll just take my time and hopefully I'll get some sleep tonight and feel a lot better. But I'll get out in a minute and show you the campground and that I stopped at. It's not a campground, but it's across from a beautiful lake, little beaver pond, and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, bye. This is the view from my campsite. Here's my tent. I'm by myself, which is hard to find with all these CT hikers. And I got plenty of space here. And it's really pretty flat, actually, so that's good. But anyways, that is my amazing view. Good morning. So last night was considerably better. I slept a couple of hours at a time, which is way better than the night before where I really didn't sleep at all. So dropping down that 2,500 feet helped. I was sleeping right at like 9,900 feet last night, whereas the last 2 days I've been above 12,000, so between 12 and 13 the whole time. Still don't have big appetite, got a little bit of a headache. Really, I just need to drink a lot of water, but it's hard when you're not feeling good in your stomach. But that will get better. I had 7 miles from my campsite to get up to Molas Lake. My husband's meeting there in a couple of hours, so I got up while it was still dark and I broke camp. I got on trail. So I'm over a mile in now, so I got 6 miles to go. This first couple of miles is still descending, and then I've got like a 4-mile climb up to the lake. So maybe get it done, but it's really pretty this morning. Way warmer too. Instead of being 28 degrees, it was 43, and I'm already getting hot, so I'm gonna have to take this off here in a minute. But yeah, I'm still excited to be hiking. Wish I was feeling better, but lessons learned. All right. My trail looks like right now. Following the creek. Have not seen anybody on trail except for a couple of guys that were heading up to climb in the Vestal Basin while I was breaking down my tent. But everybody else is still camped. So I have the trail to myself this morning. Pretty aspens. We're getting closer to the end of this Elk Creek drainage, approaching the Animas River. Got about a mile left. Some of the trails have been really cruisy, and then you get these little steep climbs and steep descents, but I'm making better time than I thought I would this morning, so it's good. So I've made it to the Animas. My trail's gonna drop down to it and cross over in just a minute, and then I'll be following the Durango-Silverton Railroad briefly before I start my long climb up to Molas campground. Well, here we are down at the railroad, Durango-Silverton Railway, and we're gonna follow the tracks for a minute. Cool. This heads towards Silverton. This way goes towards Durango. Here is the bridge that crosses over the Animas. And then I start my long climb, 3.5 miles up. Got a cute little double log bridge to cross this creek. But I probably could have just skipped across those rocks just as easy. So this section of trail is a series of steep switchbacks. And I just finished the first set, so I've got 3 more. But that bridge right there is the one that I crossed over a little while ago. Now I am heading up towards my next set of switchbacks. Found a nice spot to take a quick break. I'm in the middle of the 4th set of switchbacks and 1.5 miles from my turnoff to the campground. Oh, this is so nice. Finished all the switchbacks. I may have like one really short one up ahead, but the 4 big ones are done. And now I'm just walking through the forest, about 1 mile from my turnoff. I felt better than I thought I would on that climb. A little slower than I usually am, but being at the lower elevation makes such a big difference. This climb has taken me back up to 10,000, but 10,000 is not a problem so much for me. It's when I get up over 11 and I'm pushing it too much without giving myself a chance to acclimate. So I still feel weak because I'm calorie deficient and a little dehydrated, but I feel like I'll actually be able to eat something and keep it down. So this is all good things. And man, couldn't ask for a more beautiful morning to do that climb. I just stepped out of the forest into this open area, and somewhere up there is 550. I don't have to climb all the way up that. Partway up is where I turn off to go to the lake. Probably in the next, I think 3/4 mile or so is my turnoff. So I am really close. Here comes a group of hikers up ahead. Beautiful view. 2/10 of a mile for my turnoff.